YouTube things about you. So fuck you worry about. You've been a spectator, crying for what? What you in your feelings for? I'm done. Go ahead. I ain't gonna show shit. That just weird.
Chris Crazone, are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I have to add at this moment. When y'all get back to whatever, you know,
I was
the
gonna let Felicia
importance
finish
of
because
this
she was
is,
supposed.
then
She was
I'll
going.
Right. Because
say
this
something.
is silly.
I wanted you to finish this because you were speaking on the wife before.
No, I'm trying to hear this. Go ahead.
Pretty much said what I was gonna say about her. Like I said, her being a victim doesn't negate her actions, her failure to action, her failure to take responsibility for her actions or non-actions. So I don't feel no more sorry for her than I do Gent today. In the same boat to me. I mean,
I feel like she's turned into the next Kim. You remember Kim?
yeah, I mean,
I mean, at this point,
it's a sad,
what's her
vicious
name?
cycle.
Alicia. What's her name? I forget her name. I don't like calling you Patrick baby mom. I keep forgetting your name though. But
It
at
is
this
Elisa
point,
Alicia.
you're
Ballman.
It is
you're
Alicia.
sounding like Kim. You're moving like Kim. Because like I said, last year when what's that woman reached out to you? I can't remember her name, her TikTok name. That woman that reached out to you and you were talking to her about Patrick and how Patrick attacked you with his following and everything like that. And you were talking about your children and you were ready to tell your story. And then like 2 weeks later, you were giving the children to Patrick. When you move around this app like that, coming in my live, talking about you took them children to, I mean, you took that child immediately to the hospital, which we all know is a damn lie. You leave yourself subject to that type of smoke, victim or not. Because I've been gave you the bombastic side eye when you gave them children to Patrick. And you remember what you said in that video, right? You lied and said, I mentioned you being some type of prostitute or something. I ain't never called you nothing like that.
That's crazy.
So that's what makes me look at you side when you come in this live. So, because I know you still watching. You watching from the hallway like everybody else does. You came in this live last night. And you can't even get up here and say what you want to say, but you can come in here and tell people that you immediately took them children to the hospital. That's not what your mother said. Your mother had to make you take the baby to the hospital, if I recall correctly. That's what she testified. But you say you don't even trust your own mother. Why you don't trust your own mother? Maybe because she was telling you the same thing the police were telling you? That your no good ass husband ain't shit and he beating on your children? And why did they close your case after you left that county? After you were, moved, kicked Patrick out like you were supposed to do the first time? Why did you testify in sworn testimony that Patrick,
Lisa,
every
could
time
you
you
move,
gave that baby to Patrick, that
please?
baby would scream at the top of his lungs, and your
Look at
mother said
you.
the same damn thing?
So that
I'm sorry, what was that?
I think that was for me to mute
You
my
go ahead,
bad.
because I can hear.
No, okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, none of y'all stories is making any sense. And you didn't come in here and say it was the babysitter either. So was it the babysitter or not? Because in your video, you said you don't even know if it was the babysitter. You don't know what happened. How you don't know what happened with your own children? You were at a wedding? Because let me take it back to your statement that you supposedly wrote up for Kim to come on this app and say, right? Kim said both were at the wedding, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Can somebody correct me in the comment section or not? I believe Kim said y'all were both at that damn wedding. Now you're saying you in the video said you alone were at the wedding. At this point, y'all both look like liars, and y'all both look like y'all don't need to be around them children, just like Silverback and his wife, ex-wife. This shit don't look right.
I could have sworn, though,
Yeah.
that it said something about him being at a completely different event. She was at a wedding, and he was somewhere else.
And that's supposedly when it's supposed to happen, but you don't know nothing. And I distinctly remember
Right.
Kappa
Okay.
saying
So
the night.
they did. It said that he was at work and she was at the wedding.
All right,
So it
so
wasn't no they was at the wedding together.
I distinctly remember saying, Kappa saying, this is an old woman that was the babysitter. Kappa said this woman is old. So you trying to tell me an old woman abused your children? Patrick? Some old woman abused your children. Some old white
I
woman.
mean, I'm not saying that's impossible, but
Right.
if that did happen, why didn't y'all fight to bring the real abuser to justice?
The real abuser to justice was Patrick.
Exactly.
Y'all were both working to save Patrick's ass.
Don't nobody know you better than the person you laying up under.
Facts.
So I don't give a damn what she say about, and I'm not saying that people cannot hide what they do, but this type of abuse, physical abuse, it don't just manifest out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It don't just manifest out of nowhere. So if you didn't know that he was abusing your children, if you didn't see it in the least, you should be remorseful for that. For not protecting I would feel an immense amount of guilt if my child was abused and I can't even tell you who did it.
Not to mention he hit her. And since you watching, Patrick said when you wrote in your memoirs about him hitting you, he said he didn't hit you. You were talking about your other husband, your ex-boyfriend before him. But you wrote it in 2016. I don't know how you let this man run around on his app lying on you and then exploiting your own children. You still not protecting these same children that you fought so hard to get back by yourself. He didn't even help you. He did not even help you get your own children
I
back.
can't hear. Thank you.
Huh? I'm sorry, Ms. Bodger, what'd you say?
You was talking. I couldn't hear because she was listening to. Just go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying this man ain't help you get your own children back. You were damn near homeless because of this man. You lost your children. Your children were abused, physically abused, mentally abused. Your own child that's not even his left with a scar on his face. Now, I'm gonna say this out loud for you, so maybe you feel better. Don't nobody care at the end of the day what you and Patrick were doing or how y'all met or when y'all met. That's minute at this point. So if he wants to hold that over your head and you let him, that's your own fault. You need to stand up. You and your new husband, because he should be right by your side with this shit too. Because what you are allowing to happen to you and your children because of Patrick is wrong. And you're not protecting them children once again. You putting them in harm's way once again.
I mean, if she watching him on this app like the rest of us are watching him on this app,
Well, you
then
don't have to
she knows
listen to
damn
her
well that
anymore.
her
You know
children are
something.
in danger being in his vicinity. So again, I'm not saying that this is not because of the abuse that she has endured herself. That
Um,
that doesn't excuse anything, though.
I already blocked the mistress.
li-
She
child,
ain't even gonna
and
hear
I'm
you.
and I'm gonna keep going till motherfuckers up off here. Like I said, like all y'all can do is keep making these videos back to back. It's boring. When the fuck is we gonna get to doing some action? I thought y'all were proactivists. I thought y'all about the community.
And you
The
notice
black
that
community and stuff. What do you for the kids? What happened?
you
Where is
notice
that
everybody
energy
that
at?
made a video never says what Patrick did.
They don't.
They never say in
They,
detail what Patrick did.
mm-mm, mm-mm. Y'all done dissected and like that court TV, like, and then with it, all these, like I said, Google lawyers, TikTok lawyers, and shit like that. Y'all claim y'all to talk to legal professionals and shit, and y'all still keep exposing yourselves for being the sickos that y'all are, that y'all enablers of child abusers. Y'all protect these type of people, yet that y'all display these type of predatorial type of excuse me predatorial type of behaviors, that you support these type of things for, like, omitting these things out is just as bad. That's why I keep saying silence is showing that you're complicit in
Complicit.
this type of behavior, because at the end of the day we can't argue with facts. When he pled out and they read down his charges, when he hid the 2-inch laceration in Jeremiah's face, his stepson, with a band-aid. Let's think about that now. That means the adhesive, the glue from it was across it. He didn't care how he put it on it. He was just trying to cover it up over a laceration, a gash in his face.
And again,
And sent him to daycare. And sent him to daycare like that.
and the mother, how you don't know this stuff? You didn't see
Right.
he had 2-inch laceration on on your son's face.
Mm-hmm. That's
You
what
don't know
I've
where
been
it came
saying. Like,
from.
I know she obviously had to know something.
Hold on.
I try to be like,
All right, let's think about
what
this
happened?
critically, okay? Y'all, let's
Yeah,
think
of
about this
course.
critically. So, remind you that laceration on his face wasn't attended to until the child was at daycare, and the daycare is the one that took the child to the medical center to get medical
Right.
treatment for that scar. So, who took the child to to the daycare, right? Y'all had to take the child that means the child probably had the scar overnight.
Facts.
So that means he woke up. Y'all got the child dressed. Put the Band-Aid, try to glue it on, the Band-Aid onto his damn face and all the other nonsense. So through all that time, you didn't ask not once, Mom, where that fucking scar came from? You just missed that. And how come you didn't take him directly to the hospital? What was your excuse for that? You see, this is what I'm talking about. The more y'all talk, the more y'all bury yourselves. Y'all need to come out and tell the full truth, because you will feel a lot better and you sleep a lot better at night. You need to take the consequences of your fucking actions and stop lying about shit, trying to get over and trying to soften y'all landing for this shit. Just take it because you did it.
Yep. That's why you see her steadily kept fidgeting and things like that, because it's
Yo,
eating
I
her
was
ass up.
noticing that the
And if
moving
you a
around a lot,
clairvoyant, yeah, oh yeah,
grabbing the
baby, it's eating
hair,
you
the
up still.
necklace.
Yeah, yeah.
I told
It's
people
eating
that's a
her
lot
up.
in body language when you talking. That's
Yeah.
way if you ever watch Kappa Live
Telling
when
on
she start
yourself.
bullshitting, she
Mm-hmm.
start grabbing her hair and stroking her hair, turn
Yeah.
around in the damn chair, can't look in the camera, looking off in the side, just telling stupid stories and shit that don't even
Mm-hmm.
make no damn sense.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
easy to
looking at her.
spot a liar if
Yeah.
you know what liars.
Fact.
All of y'all are liars, and y'all all act the same.
Yes. Yes. Like, it's eating you up because I believe me and sis actually talked about that. I think, yesterday, whatever like that. That we know it's got to be something to you. We know
She
you're not
back in the
completely
comment
innocent.
section.
Well, she is walking to come in. Like, stop. I mean, you ain't got to be
No, she
scary
did
over
that in
there.
my live. I mean, it's getting like we've been saying it's creepy. She literally did that in my live yesterday.
Like, why?
I kept seeing her
Obviously, she's very
you coming
interested.
in and out.
You don't go into
Yeah,
Patrick's live like this.
Menacing behavior bothers me when it comes to these people on this app that claim they're not fucking predators. Just like Pat sitting that live yesterday, not saying nothing but smizing at the fucking camera and shit. Y'all can't give a fuck about y'all kids if this is what y'all do. You jump around playing in people comment section when
nobody's
you
talking
should
about
be up
that.
here advocating for your children. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You brought this story to the app saying that you wanted to help people. Do you really want to help people, or is this alleviating your guilt? Is
I
it
think it's
alleviating your
alleviating your
guilt to
guilt.
get up here and put all the blame on somebody else and claim to be only a victim in this situation? Because this is
And
not
then
how you help other people.
why ain't nobody talking about it? And then, his BS story about why is nobody bringing up about him faking his unalivement attempt?
We brought it up. I know I did.
I keep bringing that up too. I mean, nobody's talking
That's
about
another
that.
question.
Like,
That's
there's no
another
way you would
question
have been
for.
out that fast.
That's
No way
another
you would have
question
been
for
out that
you.
fast.
And he would be getting
Why is
some
his
help
daughter
if he was
still
the
there?
father of my children trying to do that.
And
Ain't no way in the
hold
hell
on,
I'd be dropping my
hold
kids
on.
off back over
And
there
then,
knowing that
Your
hold
daughter
on.
you're
still
that
And
way.
you
over
aware
there?
of this going on? Hold on, you aware of this going on? And then how your daughter's still at the house after you allegedly, got released off of, you know what I'm saying, a
I'm
psych
asking the
hold.
mom that. Fuck Patrick. I'm asking the
Like
mom. She here.
I'm
Why is your
saying,
daughter still there? Your husband tried
right?
to
Like
unalive himself, according to him, this weekend. Why
allegedly,
is she still there?
right?
Obviously, he's mentally unstable. So why is she
Very.
still over there at his house? So you up
Mm-hmm.
there? So you up there ready for him to perpetuate this lie because you still ain't got your child.
Looking real sus.
Again, you failing your daughter. You failing your children to protect your children again.
Mm-hmm.
And you calling yourself a mother? You telling yourself you love your kids? You're failing them. All for that man. For what? You rather put your
It's
kids through
something.
that for him? A nigga that you not even with. You got a whole husband.
It sound like it's a lot of secrets y'all keep holding amongst each other. It's just too much. It's just too much creepy, weird shit and quietness. Y'all silence is loud. Even when y'all talking, y'all loud. When you
Blaze,
divert and talk about other
question.
things.
What you say, sis?
How do you know? I wanted to ask you. Where did the story that she was messing with Pat as a minor? Where did that story come from?
It came from Patrick. He said he was 17, I believe, when he first met her.
Mm.
And I believe it was in a live or something. And he said he was like 17 when he met her. And nobody said anything about it. And I think Tanya is the one that showed me the video. I can't really remember who showed me the video. But this was around the time I had met Empress, and she was the one reaching out to Patrick's wife. And she was talking to her, and she's the one that gave me that audio of Patrick's wife talking about Patrick mistreating her and hitting her and all the other stuff, and having his followers attack her. And she seemed like she was in a good place at that time. You could just listen to her, and she was ready to step up and do the right thing. But I know for a fucking fact that Patrick reached out to you. He probably had one of his followers or somebody like that reach out to you and blackmail you. I want to believe that. But the way you moving now, I don't even know if I believe that. I believe you and Patrick are one and the same at this point. And y'all don't
Well, if
deserve.
she was dating him at 17, then that ain't no.
She was
It
like
ain't that
20.
far
She's
fetched.
older than him. She's like, I think she's like 5 years older than him.
6 years older than him. That would have made her 23 at the time.
Yeah, she was 23. He was 17. That's what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I don't know. I can't even say that's a moot point or anything like that. Because the way you moving, you don't even seem remorseful for that.
I mean, if it is true, I can see how he could ruffle her feathers with that.
Yep.
You know, I'll just tell everybody that you know, assaulted me, because that's
But that would
technically
look
what that
bad
would
on
have
his
been.
point, though, right? I mean, she would
Huh?
still look bad in a way, but that would still look bad at his point, trying to weaponize that and exploit it to keep her quiet about his abuse. That's more manipulation by a narcissist.
Yeah, she not
I
good at
would
this
say it's
point.
about the same amount. It's
Right.
about the same amount, because why would her 23-year-old ass be even interested in a 17-year-old? Like, you should have known better then. So to me, this is two predators that came together and had some kids, and they shouldn't have.
Now they manipulating each other.
Which is abuse to the children.
Children.
Now the kids suffering. That's innocent. They ain't got shit to do with you crazy, weird motherfuckers that's mentally unstable. That's why I said, when I'm listening more, that I keep, mind you, almost the last couple of days I've been going daily. Of course, every time I hear the tape, I always pick up something new every day. And it's like, I mean, they telling factual, like how they know the accounts to be, but it's like, it's no way. I kept saying, like, you didn't know about these things. But I try to not say so much like devil's advocate, because again, I've been a DV survivor myself, and I know how it could be, because I, looking back on stuff, I was like, I've seen, like, prior to me even going through that, I was like, I didn't understand women that would stay and do things like that. So I'm like, maybe it's one of those situations. I don't know, because back then she was a lot smaller than what she is now. I see she's gained weight. She looked more like she was probably about maybe 120 pounds or something like that then. And you got to think about, this big Haitian dude, you know what I'm saying, that's 300 something pounds, 5'9", right? Going upside your head. Like maybe, I would be, if I was that person, that little fearful somebody like that. So I'm like, maybe, he's doing that to you, and you like, you do stupid shit when somebody's knocking upside your head. Does it make sense? Absolutely not. I'm not excusing any of that. So I'm like, well, maybe it was that or something, it's that. But then now you out the situation, and it's still the same thing. Again, your silence or this weird shit you doing and these weird, creepy videos, like, oh, I remember the day. Like, you would have thought if you saw that baby video, you would have thought your son passed away or something at first. I was like, what is this? Like, so it's obviously still eating you up even after all this time after that, right? Because you were aware of what's going on. It's like too many things that went on where it's like, and also if y'all heard when she said when he would go in that room and the picture, Patrick Dempsey Jr., the little baby, it would be different. Like he would scream louder. So,
That's another thing I don't get.
about,
If the babysitter heard that, how she didn't. If the babysitter noticed that that's how the baby acted in Patrick's presence, you live there with him, you sleep with him every night. How did you notice your child's reaction to their father?
They said she did. Well, no, they did. If you listen, they said that was your testimony. You said when he went in that room, I guess to change the baby. Yes, that's when she went in the room to go change. You heard that the pitch was different than normal. It went higher. That basically, that he screamed, like, it was louder than you said. You came out and asked him, like, well, what's going on? And you said, Patrick, act like, oh no, there's nothing going on. Like you went with that story. So obviously you should know your baby, right? So you know that your baby was in distress and you just went with that. So you it's like with that, this remind me of a movie. It's going to come to me because I'm kind of getting a little sleepy, but it's just like, when you know something going on in the next room, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like when the daddy going up to a order or something like that, and then you just go downstairs and just, you know, start cooking shit, and you start hearing, you know, shit rumbling all around and things like that or whatever, and you like, you still gonna cook in the kitchen and shit, like you don't know what's really going on. That's what it sounded like you was doing. Like you hearing these things,
hold on
and
one
you just
second.
The sad truth is that happens so often.
Hold on, mistress.
yeah.
Kappa, since you watching with your half a brain outside in the hallway, you're a despicable woman. And Lord, you deserve everything that's coming to you. Everything. Every freaking thing. And I'm not gonna say too much about you. I'm gonna let the ladies cook you tonight. I don't really care about you. But I'm glad you watching, like always, because you a fan.
Say something before we get into Kappa.
I'm gonna let y'all go.
I kind of want to piggyback off of what Mistress said a few minutes ago when she said she's not making an excuse. I want people to understand the difference between an explanation and an excuse. Everything has an explanation. Everything has a why. And we can recognize that the abuse that she went through is probably why she handled, it's more than likely why she handled this situation the way she did. But an explanation, again, does not negate your responsibility. That doesn't mean I'm screaming, condemn this woman and take her kids away from her and da 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 da. I'm not. But I am recognizing that this woman needs help. In order for her to be any type of protection or a safe space for her children, she has to first become a safe space for herself. And if she's not admitting, she's not honest about what happened to her children, what happened in that relationship, then she's not where she needs to be mentally to take care of those kids. And that should be an issue for everybody. Everybody that claims to care about children, that should be an issue for everybody, because explaining why she may have done something is not excusing what she did. But anyway, y'all can go into.
I ain't going into no damn Kappa. I'm about to get off this thing for a little while. I'm going to bed, y'all, because I ain't realized it was almost 3 o'clock in the fucking morning.
It's almost 1 something in the morning.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast. Where you at, mistress? You on
Central
Time?
I'm on Central Time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
CST.
You on Central?
Yeah.
You got a couple more hours left than you. Me, yeah, I'm old. I'm about to go down with the wife, but nigga, that's what I'm about to do.
For sure. You don't look old. You know what I'm saying? You definitely don't look older. Listen, what's the name? The Patricia look older than your ass. So I don't know how to. That's.
I be telling them that all the time. You don't take care of his skin.
Crazy. Yes, terrible. Okay,
ladies,
then.
y'all got anything else y'all want to leave out tonight with? I see they really.
Yeah, I don't even know what Kappa says. So I really have nothing. I mean, I don't even know how. Because usually I cook on motherfuckers. What's going on? I don't know. Like I said, it's a bunch of weird ass bitches, weird ass niggas, commenting on these things. Like I said, stay on topic. That's all I'm saying. Like, let's get into it or what it's about. I don't know what narrative. I must have missed it. What Kappa said something specifically or anything about me or y'all or whatever.
Yeah, she did. But
I don't know.
It ain't worth the time.
Yeah, so it's just like, that's what I say, that's what they keep trying to do, insert themselves so we can keep making them the topic when they're not the topic. The topic's about the children and what the fuck we finna do and get this predator, bully, child abuser about this app that keeps traumatizing people on here, from women to men. Especially the straight man with your weird ass with all this transgender stuff and putting your penis in their mouth and all this in their booty hole and all this stuff. Like, you're just weird. You give very rapist vibes. I'm sure it's more victims of yours out there besides these children that you've done weird shit like that too. Because who says that? you do things that make people feel very uncomfortable.
I need everybody to do me a favor. If y'all can, go in y'all app, hit the report button, and at the top, scroll to the bottom, and I'm sorry, where it says report a problem in your settings, or the setting
Yeah.
button, scroll down, hit report at the bottom, go down, and it says